Going to the ice cream parlor before and after the event is an absolute must. Additionally, that posed still another set of challenges. It all came down to the connection between mechanic Ed China and dealer Mike Brewer, who hosted the show. They worked in tandem to enchant Wheeler dealers by documenting and explaining every step of purchasing, repairing, and selling vehicles. But in 2017, the dynamic duo's untimely demise was revealed when Ed China abruptly announced his departure, shocking the fan base. Were Ed's grievances with the show the actual reason for his departure? Is it possible that personalities clashed? Or perhaps there's something else going on in the background? How did Mike feel about leaving? Something new was introduced to the world of automobile television with the 2003 launch of Wheeler Dealers. An emphasis on the entire restoration process, beginning with the acquisition of a car and ending with its sale. A delicate balancing act between two separate characters was central to the show. The astute vehicle dealer, Mike Brewer, would scour the market for used classics and get the greatest deal he could get. Conversely, those vehicles would be revitalized by the skilled mechanic Ed China after he restored and repaired them extensively. Wheeler Dealers stood out due to Ed's remarkable talent for simplifying intricate mechanical processes, enthralling viewers with his extensive knowledge. Many viewers praised Ed for providing easy-to-follow instructions that anybody interested in fixing their own cars might follow. Both a trademark and a major selling point of the performance was this level of expertise. Both critics and viewers were impressed by how well Ed and Mike worked together. It was easy to see how their contrasting personalities, Mike's energetic, goal-oriented style, and Ed's cool, systematic approach, could work well together. The show's chemistry was a big reason why it became popular beyond the UK and won over fans around the world. Following its 2013 relocation to the United States, Wheeler Dealers achieved unprecedented success. The event was able to explore America's rich automotive culture by showcasing a new diversity of cars, thanks to this transition. The move also brought the show to a wider international audience, further solidifying its status as a beloved vehicle restoration TV program. But production demands increased in tandem with the show's popularity. Cracks in the relationship started to show up behind the scenes, and for many fans, they became brutally obvious in the years that followed. With the show's meteoric rise to fame, Wheeler Dealers faced new challenges as it adapted to film on a global scale and dealt with the increased production demands of a larger network. In subsequent seasons, fans observed minor adjustments, like shorter repair periods and a greater focus on entertaining rather than detailed physics. But things became heated in 2017 when Ed China made his exit from the show public. Ed addressed his departure in a YouTube video, explaining that he had creative disagreements with the network, now called Motor Trend, and that leaving wasn't his first option. Ed claims that the network insisted on major adjustments that would have cut down on the show's focus on intricate mechanical tasks, which he considered essential to the show's character. The new course of action, he said, had a negative impact on the work's quality and would prevent him from continuing to restore to the level his followers had grown to anticipate. When Ed left, the dynamic of the show changed. Even though Mike Brewer was still a part of the show, many fans were upset by the split and thought the network was putting money before content. A somber indication of how fervent fans had grown about the show, Mike later confessed that he and his family had received death threats after Ed's revelation, further entangling them in the dispute. The shifts occurring behind the scenes also brought attention to broader business demands. Programs like Wheeler Dealers struggled to maintain an authentic yet efficient production style in the face of shrinking funds and rising expectations for quicker turnarounds. It was a tough decision, but Ed China had to leave the series because these concessions were too much. The network justified the changes by saying they were needed to make the show more modern and efficient, but fans still weren't happy. With Ed's departure, we lost more than simply a co-host. For the show, it was a sign of a new direction, someone that many thought could never be replaced. When Ed China quit Wheeler Dealers, it shocked fans and created a big hole in the show. A large number of viewers were dissatisfied and pointed the finger at the network, believing that the show had compromised its fundamental principles. Longtime followers quickly voiced their disapproval on social media, claiming that the show's unique selling point was Ed's in-depth technical explanations. Even though he understood and appreciated Ed's decision to leave, Mike Brewer was adamant that the show had to change in order to continue airing after Ed's departure. But he admitted in a Sun interview that he felt the effects of the backlash on a personal level. Some fans blamed Mike alone for Ed's resignation, and he and his family were the targets of online death threats and abuse, Mike said. "Someone threatened to come over and kill him, so I had to call the police," he explained. "It was so terrible that it even targeted my daughter." This response demonstrated how devoted viewers were to the show's initial format. Ant Anstead was established as Ed's substitute in order for the show to continue. Attempting to bridge the void left by Ed, Ant, a former police officer turned automobile builder, brought his own set of skills and expertise to the series. Viewers' reactions were varied, even his best efforts to lend the part credence. While some enjoyed Ant's enthusiasm and style, others thought he had irrevocably changed the dynamic and chemistry between the hosts. The new format airing on the MotorTrend network has also been met with criticism from viewers, who have seen a persistent decline in the number of repair sequences and the level of technical detail covered. The show's emphasis on unique automobiles and deals remained, but there were noticeable adjustments to fit the network's style, which is more entertainment-driven and focused on efficiency. Leaving the show was a statement about Ed's commitment to his creative integrity. However, Wheeler Dealers saw it as a turning point. Following the departure of a beloved character, the series had to reevaluate its identity in the face of reaction, the shadowy side of fan loyalty, and structural changes to accommodate production demands. After leaving, Ed China found a new way to communicate with his followers while still being creatively independent. His first YouTube series, Ed China's Workshop Diaries, premiered in 2021. He was able to delve even farther into technical projects on the show because he wasn't constrained by the time limits set by the network. Here, Ed takes on a variety of mechanical difficulties, such as restoring rare cars, trying out new technologies, and getting back into projects he left unfinished when working at Wheeler Dealers. Fans of the original show, who thought it had dwindled in substance, saw Ed's dedication to openness and teaching in Workshop Diaries, which was a pleasant surprise. Ed's new venture further demonstrated his unwavering will to accomplish things according to his own standards. He stayed away from the constraints he faced on Wheeler Dealers by concentrating on niche projects and experimental engineering. This one-on-one relationship with his audience allowed him to converse with auto aficionados who had been following his story from the beginning. While adjusting to new co-hosts, Mike Brewer remained the face of Wheeler Dealers, initially with Ant Anstead, and then with Mark Elvis Priestley. While the show's popularity remained high among some demographics, many viewers felt that the spark that had been present in earlier seasons had faded. In interviews, Mike admitted that things were never the same after Ed left, proving that his departure had a lasting effect. But he insisted that he just wanted to keep the show's essence alive, although in a slightly different way to reach more people. Wheeler Dealers still managed to have its share of successes, despite all the changes. Fans still compare Ant Anstead to Ed, but Mark Priestley tried to provide a unique blend of technical knowledge and personality with his subsequent appointment. But the criticisms from fans of the old format never stop, so the show's legacy is now just as much about its history as it is about its present. Although Ed and Mike's careers have taken different turns, longtime admirers still wonder if the two would ever work together again, either on screen or in a special project. They are both still figuring out their careers for the time being. Everyone standing for their own unique vision of the past and present of the Wheeler Dealer. When Ed China left Wheeler Dealers, it was the end of an era and a lesson in how creative differences can alter the course of a popular series. His resignation was caused by tensions behind the scenes, but the show would not be the same without his technical knowledge and instructional style, particularly among audiences that preferred genuine storytelling to scripted entertainment. His unwavering commitment to his principles left an indelible mark on the business. However, in spite of the dynamic nature of automotive television, Mike Brewer has made great efforts to ensure the show's continued viability and relevance. Nevertheless, Wheeler Dealers is defined by the ongoing tension between staying true to the show's initial intent and adapting to new production demands. Even though the show's new co-hosts brought new ideas to the table, many viewers still longed for the show's previous approach, which was reminiscent of Ed China. One important thing to remember about this time in the show's history is how crucial the relationship between the hosts was to its success. Recreating the chemistry we had is difficult, as Brewer admitted in an interview with DriveTribe. Nobody could ever imitate Ed's style. It is clear that individuals who are genuinely enthusiastic about their profession are important, since fans continue to be interested in Ed's work after Wheeler Dealers, whether it's through his workshop diaries or his appearances as automotive guests. Wheeler Dealers, meantime, is still finding its footing as an identity experiment, trying to please both new and returning viewers, while simultaneously expanding its international following. Fans who aren't familiar with the show's previous dynamic enjoy it for what it is: a fun and approachable look at classic vehicles, despite the fact that its present structure has been criticized for making restorations too easy. Ed and the show's lasting impact serves as a reminder of the power of being true to oneself and pursuing one's passions in the creative process. The impact of Wheeler Dealers on automotive television is indisputable, regardless of whether viewers think the show lost its magic after Ed left or just took a different turn. Fans of the program and those who followed Mike Brewer and Ed China's journey from the start will never forget their narrative of friendship, creative disagreements, and final separation.